Hi, this is Bill Clodsey. Welcome to some more Throne of Eldraine Limited with a draft league on Magic Online. Gilded Goose, the best accelerant in the format. There's no common Llanowar Elves or anything like that, so you are getting a lot out of this Goose. And it has a way of getting pumped and getting revenge on any opponents who might be trying to diss it. Anyway, that's going to be my pick here. My dream is to open Oko and build some kind of constructed deck, and the Goose, like turn 2 Oko Unlimited would just be such an achievement. But it's also just a very good card. Besides that, there's some good commons here. Tactician, Reeve Soul, Swordmaster, and Rimrock Knight. If you get enough of these two, you can just go crazy. Scavengers is nice. Vandal is probably the next best card besides Goose. Maybe even the pick here, but the Goose is just too fun. And it's solid. Okay, another Vandal, so we could have had 2 Vandals here. There is also Secret Keeper. No reason why we can't take Vandal and Goose. Besides, we're obviously going to open Oko this draft. So yeah, let's start with the Vandal, and we can build a nice little blue-green deck. So I really do like the Secret Keeper. The Vandal, however, attacks on both fronts. You can pressure an opponent. It gets damage in the air. Very good. Spinning Wheel, Tome Raider, Giant Opportunity. I guess if we are doing a Vandal-style deck, then Tome Raider gets very good to curve out with. 2 damage, then 3 damage if you happen to have some other way of drawing a card on turn 4. And yeah, it's just a pretty good follow-up here. Charmed Sleep also good, but I think Tome Raider is going to fit better into most of these strategies. And I do like blue more than most colors. Archon of Absolution coming late. And a pretty strong pack overall here. Tactician is solid. Reaper definitely destroys hands and wins games. Cauldron is fine. Barrage. Squire even. Witching Well. Yeah, a ton of playables in this pack, but the Archon is just kind of on another level. Might be a big sign here. The green and blue cards coming are not as good. Oven and Familiar in the same pack is kind of a weird one, but what to take here? Maybe just Henge Walker to keep us open. I don't like picking one of these without the other, and in the same pack it's just even more awkward, which isn't to say that I wouldn't take one of these speculatively if we were in black, but since that would be a 4th color, I'll take Henge Walker instead. Okay, Kenrith's Transformation. If we can't open Oko, then we'll have to become Oko and turn things into Elk ourselves, which is decent, and sometimes you can just downgrade your opponent's creature slightly while drawing a card. So without a great blue or white option, well, I guess Shepherd is fine, but I do want to stick to green a little bit if we can. Scavengers. I quite like Scavengers. We have one way of making food, and the transformation itself is an enchantment, so we can bounce some things with this. Curious Pair. One other option we have is to go blue-red with some card draw synergy, and then the Wolverine might be kind of aggressive, like Wolverines and Vandals, and then card draw besides that. That is a possibility, but I'm not sure if that's the direction we want to go. If we do want to go that way, though, I want to fill up on cards like Wolverine, so let's grab that. Squire. Not a lot of great cards in this pack, however. A solid red card does wheel back to us, which is this Knight. Vantress Paladin or Gingerbread Cabin. It looks like green is being somewhat cut, and if we're in 2 colors with some heavy blue, then the Cabin might not even be that good for us, but the Paladin is always going to be good in this style of deck. Pheasant for the sideboard. Definitely a bit stronger than Bargain out of the main deck, I think. Assuming you're going to get enough playables and you're in red. There are better options than Bargain, though I guess it's fine. Silver Flame Squire, Roving Keep, and Youthful Knight. I guess there's some small chance that we go into white-green adventures, and the Squire is good in that deck. All right, come on, Oko. Again, it looks like we did get a late Vantress Paladin. Okay. When it rains, it pours. This is a good pack. Yeah, open this pack in your Two-Headed Giant sealed or whatever. I am going to Grand Prix Richmond here, which will be... I'm not playing in Standard, but I'll play some side events. And yeah, this would be a pack to open in, like a Two-Headed Giant sealed. Yeah. That's great. All right, well, we win this draft. I mean, we could go 0-3, and it'll be worth it for this moment. Called shots. Actually, I just say I'll open Oko every single draft. And wow, Murderous Rider 2. And then when I do open it, it looks like I'm a genius, but I'm really just saying that every time. Trail of Crumbs? Foil Trail of Crumbs into Oko? I'll say please every time to get that working. Yeah, we have to take Trail of Crumbs here. We already have our value for the draft. Foil food tokens. Rider's probably not worth that much. In live Magic, it's probably worth a bit more, but people draft the heck out of online stuff, and the rares drop in value like crazy. Feyburrow Elder. That's tempting, isn't it? That's something we could get down on turn 2 off of a Goose. And then if we get Oko out, also pretty strong. However, it is probably a bit risky to do that, and no reason to really go into that when Outmuscle is so good on its own. So I'm going to not take Elder here. It's not even that likely we have Goose on turn 1, let alone having both. So yeah, Outmuscle's probably good enough here. And I'll keep taking that. It looks like we're going to have a bunch of things to do early, and then a bunch of Outmuscles just keeps us on track. Okay, Adversary is another good one. If we can somehow get that attacking. A close pick here, but I'm going to go for Outmuscle. Deathless Knight and Edgewall Innkeeper. How much support do we have for the Innkeeper? Not very much. And by support, I mean just anything with an adventure on it. We've got Opt, essentially making the deck a bit smaller. And then this Deathless Knight, which is super heavy green, but comes back with every food we might sacrifice. I'll grab that. It's not easy to replace. Keeper of Fables. That is solid. And we're going to have a bunch of elk, or at least that's the plan. And drawing the extra cards can help with Fairy Vandal. So that's a pretty solid pick here. Another Ventress Paladin wouldn't be bad either. But let's grab Keeper. Acolyte, that way we have more chance of getting Oko down. And this is the common version of Gilded Goose, I guess, to splash that third color. Go for it. Another way to sacrifice some food, Marleaf Rider. A cheap way so you don't have to spend 3 mana to get your Trail of Crumbs, just 1 mana, if life's not an issue. And the Pixie Wheels. This was the same pack as Oko, but I didn't really... I noticed this card in the pack, but I didn't comment on it because it was eclipsed by the Trickster. Anyway, yeah, happily take that. Halberd. This is one of the ways that your Goose can get an attitude. Just play an early Halberd to attack with it. It's just pretty common to... There's that adventure tree folk that puts 2 counters on things. You've got Halberds flying around, all that good stuff. Yeah, I'll grab the Halberd here over the Turtle. The Turtle's not bad. And of course, Feyburrow Elder Wheels, just in case that's the direction we take things. Grange is never going to add a counter, so it's a worse plains if we end up playing the Elder. But Scavengers comes back. Shoot, I feel like I should ask to open another card just in case we can call another shot, but I can't think of a card I would want more than Oko. Second Oko? I think maybe the craziest draft I've ever had was opening 2 foil mythics and a mythic. So maybe we can top that by opening 2 Okos. Well, that's not bad. Look, I'll take it. Feasting Troll King plus Oko, with many ways to ramp up to the Troll King. We've got Acolyte, potentially Elder. Need some more golden eggs if we're really going to get the Elder, but the Acolytes really do help with that, turning any extra green into any color on turn 3 or turn 2. But the Troll King is just insane. So what are we looking at to wheel here? Mainly 3 cards: Golden Egg, Acolyte. Did I say 3 cards? 2 cards. Basically those. I guess Curious Pair is an option as well, but far below those. Runaway Together. What does this thing do? It doesn't necessarily save Oko, but it could bounce a creature that's coming in to attack Oko. And what else does it do? Bounces back Tome Raider, Scavengers, that kind of thing. I could see taking Charm Sleep here. Pretty easy way of protecting stuff. Wow, high-powered draft. You don't always get a draft that looks this powerful, but foil Bone Crusher Giant. That, in a different format, I'd be tempted to splash this just because of how much value it is. But even with my couple pieces of fixing, I don't feel comfortable doing that. Especially since, if anything, I'm splashing a bit of white. Potentially bringing in Archon too. But consistency is so key in this format. I'll take another Acolyte. All right, yeah, the power keeps coming here with Rampart Smasher. Is that easy to play? See, Deathless Knight might be one that I don't end up playing in the first place. Smasher, equally good, if not better, depending on the deck. Yeah, I'll take it here. Another Marleaf Rider, Ginger Brute, Garenbrig Paladin. I'm not worried about having a good enough late game at this point, so it might just be a matter of taking another Rider. But we have a lot of good cards to ramp up to our 5-drop, and Paladin should come down most of the time as a 5. Yeah, I'll take the Paladin. Wow, another Pixie. Oh, this deck is getting absurd. So turn 2 Pixie, turn 3 Outmuscle, get a 3/3 flyer, kill whatever they do. Yeah, I mean, this is getting absurd. If it wasn't already absurd, I can't wait to play with this deck. Hypnotic Sprite, sure. First pickable cards all the way to the finish line. Runaway Together. I guess we have enough playables here, and we have a Fell the Pheasant already for the sideboard. I really like Runaway Together, but it doesn't have that much upside in this deck. We don't have that many adventures. Tome Raider is one of the best cards to get back. I'll take a land here that we're definitely going to play. Probably don't run Elder here. It will just get in the way. We have enough good stuff already. Dance of the Manse? Sure, just more rare drafts. Because we're going to have to carve down what we have sitting here. Well, I guess that's pretty close. Merfolk, neat little forest thing here. And some other stuff. I'll take a Merfolk. Wolverine number 2. Go blue. And Curious Pair. Fun. Well, any last minute changes we need? We have the power, so consistency is the word I'm looking for here. And that means cutting down on the colors and the color requirements. So for now, I'm going to ignore white. And if we were really stretching for playables, sure, go into your second and third color. But look at these, embarrassment of playable cards we have that all synergize nicely together. The Acolytes, helping make sure we get down Oko all on time. Also Mara Leaf Pixies on turn 2, so we'll definitely prefer green sources so we can get the filtration from the Acolytes on turn 2, as opposed to being stuck with too much blue. Trail of Crumbs, I mean, that's just too good here with Oko, a constant source of more food. Gilded Goose, kind of the best late game version of this is just gain 3 life every turn. And then if you have Trail of Crumbs, it's gain 3 life and draw a card. It's 5 mana to do that, but that's not bad when it's just a 1-drop that already ramped you to whatever you might have wanted to play. Yeah, there's no there's no real weakness of this deck, so I think maybe the only weakness is that Trail of Crumbs doesn't actually draw cards for the Fairy Vandal. But listen, I think we'll just have to deal with it. Carver, yeah, we'll keep that. Is there anything better than the Carver? That might be an early cut, but it's good value. It's a nice little trick that we don't have access to yet. How about the Halberd? The Halberd may be better than the Carver. It equips to most of our things. And as we have a lot of evasive creatures, we don't need a pump spell as often as we might just want a big pump itself. Could even make it into an elk. Can't make it into an elk with the transformation, but we can do it with Oko. Okay, that's a good enough change here. 17 lands, that looks about right. Then again, all of these Marleaf Pixies filter. Is it a bit risky to go down to 16 lands since we don't have much card draw? I think we could make 16 lands work here. Maybe do something like 10-6. Again, remember we have Gilded Goose turn 1, 2 Rosethorn Acolytes, and that brings us up to 9 sources of 11-6 rather. 9 sources of blue. And if I do that, I can fit in 1 more card. But that might just not be worth it here. Too risky. Yeah, we have 2 Scavengers, Troll King, Keeper of Fables. This is enough to do late that I'm not sad about 17 lands. But potentially that's too many. Hold on. Between all of this ramp, we're going to end up with a ton of mana. So the more I think about it, the more we do want 16. In which case, let's cut a forest and put in just a random card, maybe Curious Pair. And that'll be surprisingly useful, I think, between the Trail of Crumbs and the Gilded Goose, and maybe even the Troll King, and just as like a trump blocker later. So I'll try that out. If that really starts to mess us up, I could put the extra land in. But there we go. Foil Oko. Let's see if we can actually win with this monster. Round 1, I will play first. And turn 2 Oko, we've got it. Keep, almost. We have one chance to draw it. Why not, right? I'm sure it will happen once this draft. Even if the odds are stacked against that. It should happen. So we've got our Goose out here and our food. That's a lot of permanence in play turn 1. And it's possible we just go Halberd and start swinging. Don't kill our Goose. I guess you can't really. It's also somewhat tempting to just use Kenrith's transformation on the Goose. What else is it good for? I mean, we don't need the ramp from it. And potentially we don't need the food from it. And I do want to draw some cards, so yeah. Sorry, Goose. You are now an elk. Oko's orders. It's a turn 2, 3/3. I mean, what else? Look, what else do you want from the Goose? Curious Pair, good against the red cap. 7 dwarves, hopefully we don't see too many more of those. They get in 1 here. I could have had a Vantress Paladin out this turn, but instead, swing for 3. Get a food, because those might be useful later instead of getting the 2 extra damage in this turn, and get a 1/3 out there. Otherwise we just never get the food from the Curious Pair, and I think that food is potentially worth more than the 2 damage, which can be a surprise next turn as well. Are they finally going to start removing things? 3 mana, what could that be? 4 damage to, or 3 damage to something with the uncommon. Not sure what they would play first main. The best thing to play would be another 7 dwarves. Haggle to start with. It's turn 3, so it's surprising they wouldn't just play Merchant. Sometimes you get the feeling that you ought to be using the adventure half to get the maximum value, but sometimes it's not true. It's just you get more value. No attacks, that's great. You get more value just by playing it out. So what can we do here? We can slap the Halberd on the Goose. If they could have killed the Goose, I think they would have done it already, right? Maybe not. But we don't have the 3rd blue for Paladin, so that's not as exciting. Anyway, let's see if this works. The unstoppable elk Goose. Come on. Wow, they did have it. Okay, we got owned there. I guess it is a target, so playing the rider there first doesn't actually help us very much. But I'll go like this. Now in the end, and that's very mana efficient of them, but it really just traded with the Goose, and the Goose got a food out of the deal because this replaced itself. The Halberd is still on the battlefield, albeit a 5 mana equip cost. Maybe I should have attacked there first because the trade with these 2 creatures is easy enough. And they're not doing anything, not even playing Merchant, or maybe they'll do that second main. What did they do? Oh, they have Curious Pair too. And Merchant comes out. Well, Charmed Sleep doesn't do much. I could just equip the halberd to the rider. I think all that does is trade with 7 dwarves. Or I could play this thing. Better yet, let us attack with the rider and make them block with merchant so they don't get any more value out of that. That's a good use of a food here. Then we come in for 4 a turn in the air with the paladin. But it looks like we're a little behind in value. Rampart Smasher. Good thing we saved Charmed Sleep. Because that would otherwise be a difficult thing to deal with. That's a good draw. We can't make use of it now, but first things first. Second things second, attack with the paladin. And we still have good blockers. This curious pair is really holding down the fort. Nice. They have the curious pair. It's too bad you can't really tell whose that is. It is theirs. Easy enough here. Block the raider and they might pump and trade, but that red cap is kind of annoying. Barge in would mess us up here. I don't need to crack my food yet. Could probably turn that into an elk if we do draw Oko. Grumgully's going to die to outmuscle, which is great. Oko, Marley, well, it had me thinking Oko for a second, but yeah, we'd better get rid of that thing. And we have to use adamant. And it also reduces their clock by a turn or 2. Another red cap. But potentially we have them on the ropes here. They have a food, so they're essentially at 12. Oh, goodness. Yeah. So the halberd kills them in 3 turns. This kills them in 4. But if we get Pixie down, they go to 9, and then, yeah, and then 2 turns after that. So nothing for it here. Also, that is Fire Breath, so 6, 7, 8, 9. I think they crack the food here. If they don't crack the food, it means they probably have a big pump spell for later. Trail of Crumbs. I'll play Marleaf Pixie. I don't think we're in too much danger of losing this turn, although they attack with both. Pump at 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, even if they had the red equipment that I forget its name, Embercleave, they couldn't kill us from that position, I don't think. Pixie, is it worth trading here or taking a ton of damage? I think it's worth trading. Because that's the scariest thing on the board right now, this red cap. So they pump it once. They've got their food back. But we have our food. And our card draw. So we kill them in 2 turns if we equip the halberd. They kill us in 2 turns, but a little more slowly. Let's see. 7 next turn, but we kill them in 1 more hit. Unless we start drawing this food. Yeah, let's start cracking the food. We might even get Oko. Paladin. Shoot, I guess we can grab that Paladin. We haven't played our land yet, so maybe we just do that again. But no reason, well, I guess they know what we have, so gig's up here. Let's crack it. Draw another island. All right. And that puts them in a position where they have to leave 2 mana to crack the food. 4 mana is plenty to do most things in the format. But we're at 18 life, so that's a pretty good sign too. They get 7 in here. We're down to 11. Realistically, they can't kill us this turn or next turn, especially if we're playing Paladin. But there are very few ways to kill them. I think Oko would be an out to kill them here. Either way, they have to crack this food to survive, I think. This game might have been a lot easier if they didn't kill our souped up Goose early. Or exile it, rather. Poor Goose. Poor thing. Now what? Do they have another removal spell? No, I guess not. I guess I could be holding more up if I left up blue and green. What do they have here? They're thinking about something. I just don't know. They have 1 card. I hope it's not 7 damage to everything, because that would kill us. Oh goodness, that would kill us. Okay, nothing. That's good news. It might be 5 damage to something, and then 3 damage to us. But even in that situation, they don't get to kill us on the crackback. And then what do we do? Then we would want to have the halberd on the paladin so they can't just double block. Actually, this would trade with both dwarves anyway. So the best move here is to just attack with both. I don't know, maybe they were just pausing to bluff, which is kind of an advanced move. But yeah, this will have 2 damage on it, so it really does kill both unless they have some response here. Get pumped. Red cap melee. And they'll have to sack a land, though that doesn't matter too much. And that trades with both creatures. So my advanced move of the day is going to be play the Vandal now and equip the halberd to it now. So it's not quite as easy to kill. There's that rare that does 2 damage to a thing at instant speed. There's advantages to not playing it out there, but the halberd is just so expensive that I think that makes sense to do. Great. They're not going to have much flying, so Fell doesn't make too much sense. Carver makes a bit of sense because that's a cheap instant speed pump. And they're going to have all kinds of pumps as well. But what would we play that instead of? There's not much else to consider here. Certainly halberd was nice, and I'm glad I kept that in. Curious Pair was obviously great against their deck. What should we cut? I mean, most of our stuff is really good here, so I can't imagine cutting too much for this Carver. Maybe something expensive, like another Scavengers. Second Scavengers. Yeah, let's do it. 1 Scavengers ought to be enough. The earlier interaction of Carver makes sense, and besides, we don't have many 4-drops to begin with. What about this hand? I guess it's fine. Pretty powerful Troll King if we can get to that point, though we're going to be taking some hard hits early. Oof, maybe I should be playing out this cabin. 7 dwarves, take 1. Come on. Huh. Yeah, maybe we should play the cabin now to make sure we can hit Fables on time. It's sort of our last chance. The other play here, God, this is awkward. The other play here might have been to play the halberd to pump it up with Oko. I didn't think of that as long as I might have there. Wow, they actually have a board that can deal with Oko. Bit surprising but true. Tome Raider, at least that has a chance of killing this red cap. Can I survive? Turn 3 Oko, not good enough, as it turns out here. Yeah. Shoot. Just don't play another 7 dwarves, please. They're wondering if they want to spend a removal spell on Tome Raider. Hopefully they just don't have a removal spell, but if they do, that could be 9 damage here. Yep, there they go. 9 damage, and what do we have to show for it? I guess we have a similar option here, which is play Halberd and Oko. Yikes. And they still just kill us by attacking, but some people go a little crazy and get distracted by Oko. It doesn't give away much that we have it. It might put a little more pressure on them, which is always a good thing, to think they have to win earlier. And now they're just going to do 5 damage here, outmuscle, yeah. Being on the play is so important, or at least having something to do to interact early. Are they also going to kill Oko? Be too much. All right, they've got this game. Could have had turn 3 Oko, and it's like not even the right. Yeah, I'm rarely set up on turn 3 to deal with my opponent's turn 3 Oko, so kudos to them. Anyway, we need some interaction. I like the Carver here over Scavengers. Yeah, I think I like how this is all set up. Hengewalker's a good thought too. But let's submit again like this. Actually, the Wishful Merfolk is a thought. Huh. On the play we should be fine. Yes, get our Goose, Rider. Yeah, so we'll go Cabin, turn 1 just to make sure we can play all our stuff. We go Cabin, Rider, Acolyte, Oko, hopefully. Goose, you're a little late, but there you are anyway. Get the Rider out. Basically, I want to trade as often as possible here, so I'll trade the red cap for this if they let me. Unfortunately, that means if they get a second 7 dwarves, we can't actually fight it, but see what happens. Oh yes, we can. We can literally fight it without muscle. So if they play the 7 dwarves here, they could also just remove our Acolyte, which they've been so keen to do these last couple games. I would actually prefer... Oh, Haggle. They may discard a card. They might be looking for land here. They're waiting for them to finish looking at their hand. Yeah, so isn't that the truth? Return to Nature gone. Yeah, that's one that's not great against me. I mean, it has some upside. But they miss a land drop. That's what it looks like. So we can resilientify ourselves against this by pumping there. And I'll play the Goose here. The 3 damage is nice, but so is everything else. I don't think they're going to want to spend turn 3 scalding our Goose. I could be wrong, but I think that's unlikely. Could bounce their Grumgully, but I would rather draw some cards, right? Get in there for 3. They can't lose Grumgully. There's really no chance they have of winning there. So we get Fairy Vandal. And they do start drawing their lands, finally. Land, right in a row. 5/5 Witchstalker. I might end up bouncing that back to their hand so we can continue this slaughter. In fact, what I might do is play the Vandal out. No, I should just get in some more damage here. That's tough, actually. Oh, that's tough. Getting 3 damage in or a 1/1 counter on the Vandal. I guess the counter on the Vandal is more important. See if it hits. Blue, blue, Vandal. This will be the second card we draw this turn. Main phase, we've already played our land. Okay, great. Now, the Witchstalker they get back is huge again, but at least we have a flyer to keep drawing cards no matter what. Slightly bigger than it was. What about attacking and getting in 9 damage? What they would do is block the Keeper with the Witchstalker, and they probably don't have another good block, and we do draw 1 extra card this turn. That's a little risky, I would say. Yeah, that's getting a little too far ahead of ourselves. Let's go ahead and attack with the Vandal. If they were at slightly lower life, probably. But as it stands, I don't think we can make that work. Oko, great draw. Target artifact or creature loses all abilities, becomes a 3/3. Why don't we... that's tough. Why don't we start with Grumgully? And then we can make the Witchstalker a 3/3 or a 4/4 next turn with Oko. Exchange control of an artifact or creature you control and target creature and opponent controls with power 3 or less. So we could have stolen Grumgully there, but then Oko goes pretty low. I don't mind double blocking Witchstalker here. Either way, it's going to be a tough battle, uphill battle for them. And I would probably double block it with Acolyte and Scavengers if it comes in. So there's nothing we know about that can disrupt that, except maybe 3 damage plus the Cauldron, in which case at least we save Oko and the Keeper. Yeah, and if they have to be all offense, we have plenty of good stuff to do on defense. Yeah, have I made a food yet with Oko? Because I don't know if that food token's going to be foil or not. Usually you'd figure it would be, but you don't always get that. Nice. So we stop a 1/1 counter coming on there, and then, oh, I should have made a food with the Goose. Yeah, I don't often have the Goose, and that is a mistake, and I'm sorry. Witchstalker is now an elk. This is such power. Now we can attack in with all kinds of good stuff. Or pretty much just Vandal plus Scavengers. And we trade scavengers with... Well, I guess we basically trade it with this Grumgully elk. And that might not be that good, as it turns out. Because then they still have good blockers for Keeper. Yeah, just attack with Fairy Vandal. It's going to keep getting bigger. Fell the Pheasant. Oh no, well I thought it was going to keep getting bigger, but it's not. Alright, I really have to start making food with this Goose. So that's a 3/3 every turn. So I should have one more food out here. One more food isn't that powerful, but certainly if we missed it this turn, that would have been awful. Trail of Crumbs. Tons of food here. And you can kind of right-click on them to tell which one's newly controlled. So when we animate one, we're going to give that to the one we controlled previously. And then what? Then I guess they would try to hit our Pixie here. So we don't get to draw. Yeah, tough game. Because their 4/4 is still kind of shutting us down. But we have the engine and the late game, so I think we're in good shape here. Get our food. Crack this. Take that Troll King, thank you very much. And if that doesn't win this game, then I don't know what will. Pretty close to casting it here. One short. Not a bad constructed deck. Oh, hi, good luck. Oops. Good luck, have fun. How did I lose a match? This is match 1. I thought it notified you when people chatted to you. Oops, that's unlucky for you. Yeah, I figure they're 1/1 here. Oh, that is unlucky for them. Shoot. Shoot the breeze with them for a bit. All right, back to business. All right, so we chatted it up a little bit, and they're killing their own thing and sacking a land. Nice. Oh well. Good luck next time. Round 2. And I will take the play. Oh yes. Oh well. Gingerbread Cabin? No, I don't think so. Let's mulligan. We can do better. We've got our Goose. I'll put back a forest and done. That way we have some insurance if our Goose dies. We don't have our third green if our Goose dies for the Paladin, but it's likely we can get there without all that. Go Rider here. We could hold up Sprite that turn, but there's no no reason we can't hold up the Sprite this turn for something potentially bigger. Black, red knights. Nice. Maybe we kill that here? Huh. Kill it with food. But we could also just kill them. So I'm going to save the food and let them do their thing. This does put us, it's symmetric and we have food, so I think it's not going to work out super well for them. Counter anything, get hit down to 17, they go to 13, 12, so forth and so forth. We get our paladin out this turn, which is way too hard for them to deal with, and there's a lot of options for killing it, like bacon to pie and whatnot, but I think it's probably still worth it here. So cast it with adamant support. Done. And you know, most removal spells are going to use up at least half their turn here. But then again, a deck like this, they have their colors fixed. If they can just trap it in the tower and play some other small knight, we might be in bad shape. Or Epic Downfall, a literal perfect answer to it. But that's okay, that's all right. We don't have the food to cast the thing here, so I think we just Tome Raider, try to hit a land. Miss the land. And attack for 3. Trail of Crumbs might have been smart there too. Huh, there we go. There's our land. Do they want to skewer us? Lost Legion, not bad. But yeah, you can see how Stormfist Crusader speeds up a game. Haggle. See how they scryed here. I don't always check, but you really should check. One top, one bottom. Maybe that was the planes they were missing. I don't need to double block this. Hopefully I can just get some more food, or Oko. Well, that's really good here, isn't it? That means they lose their Lost Legion by trading it with the Rider. So we make our Goose into food. It's not the only play this turn, but it's a pretty good one. Then what do? I mean, you just can't beat Oko. No one has ever beaten Oko. I keep turning this Goose into into food, or into elks or whatever. Nice pull. Sorry, I have to open chat here and give him a face. So let's make our Goose into a monster, and if they don't block, they lose to their own Crusader. So they have to trade off here. In which case, we're going to get them. So they actually can't even kill Oko here with the Skewer. Maybe they can do something else, but I'll play a flyer, and that's not bad either. Cabin, very nice land here for this next turn. Assuming they can't kill us this turn, and stranger things have happened. I guess they can't do 7 to us. And Embercleave isn't quite lethal. It's getting pretty close, though. 4. 4 to us. It's Menace, so there's no chance of blocking it anyway. And then gain 3 life. That does give them a fighting chance. Get our food. So they block here. And they take it low but not dead. I guess I could exchange control the food and this thing, right? That kills them. Oko, you beast. Did that kill Oko? I'm sorry, Oko, but it's worth it. Worth it for the win. So yeah, I haven't seen a great Mardu Knight deck, and this looks like a great Mardu Knight deck. So, well, we'll see what we can do. We have one Curious Pair. Hengewalker is potentially something we could look at. Yeah, I'll put in Hengewalker. I think having that early interaction is so important Wishful Merfolk is good in a similar way. Just something to do early. But Hengewalker's a bit better. We have a lot to do turn 2. And I think we have so much green that we can make that work. It's another good play with the Goose on turn 2. Goose, do it. Keep this hand. We might do... turn your Goose into an elk again. Oh, why do we keep doing that? Draw that Oko. Don't kill my Goose, why? What did the Goose ever do to you? Oh, that's such a good draw here. As long as they don't kill the Pixie, but we get to keep going. Keep goosing. Oathsworn Knight. Let's not turn that one into a 7/7, shall we? 4 mana. We could give this thing indestructible and make that a 3/3. Probably not worth it. Whereas Trail of Crumbs is a good bet. Just attack for 2. This thing's gonna hurt. Don't get me wrong. Inspiring Veteran, now they have 5. That's a better target to outmuscle, and that might be what we do here. With 2 black, I don't think they get to kill this thing. Boy, alright. Outmuscle. The problem with that is we don't necessarily get the land we need. But that's strong enough. I just feel like we should get rid of it. Get rid of it. And swing 3 because we're not blocking. And then if we draw this land, that puts us in a great position. But if we don't draw land, I don't know, we're going to have to start chumping things. We don't draw land, so let's get this out, and hopefully we get land here. Good. And I'm going to hold up Hypnotic Sprite and the food and all that good stuff. They've only got 1 card. Well, they only had 1 card left. Let's counter this. I love blue in this set. Blue-green is just that much better. These both come in, which is pretty smart because I'd probably chump the knight there anyway. So we take it to 7. We have the land to bounce the knight. What did they do? No! What did they do? Did they kill a food? I think they killed a food, but I just want to confirm that. My last opponent said the same. They're all checking the price of it, like, how lucky did my opponent get? Okay, targeting a food token, that's fine. So, well, here's an interesting line. Just play Keeper of Fables and draw an extra card. Oops, I shouldn't F6 here. Because what if I draw the land? Okay, so even if they get like bacon to pie, what? We're still not dead, but that was a really good draw on their part. Dang, are you kidding me with that bacon to pie? That was ridiculous. Yeah, why don't we bounce that thing? Or we could just play a million cards. Yeah, we could just play a lot of creatures here. 2 creatures. Or, better yet, let's crack a food, find a land or something, and depending on what we find, that can dictate what we do. And this will take a counter off the knight. Oh, come on. Another bacon to pie? Like, what is going on here? Oh, draw 2, gain 2. Draw 2, make a food, at least. So I'm kind of priced into blocking this thing, which is a little unfortunate because I'm close to killing them at the same time. But they do have the extra food there, and the Charming Prince no less. I think they're going to scry, yeah. Oh, yeah, I should check where they are scrying. Two cards on top. Just, I guess, a matter of order there. Now, I don't really want to bounce this knight, but it might be unavoidable. I could just have it run into our blocker. But they put 2 on top, so that might not even work so well. Play land for turn. And unless they deal with... I guess they can't really kill us this turn. It really depends on what they have. So the best bet here might be to play Paladin and Hypnotic Sprite. And if they have an answer on top for Paladin, well, good for them. It doesn't pressure their life total as much, but getting the Paladin out is really nice against this knight. Better than anything. And then I could either leave back the Pixie or develop a little more, and I think we want to develop. So they have to come in with the knight, and if they kill the Paladin, they don't have triple red to like kill it and do 3 to us. So if they kill the Paladin attack, we probably trade our Sprite with the Prince, maybe bounce the knight to get us scavengers out there. We'll see what else happens. Top is scary with that scry. And they have some good chump blockers, but 1, they can't block with the knight because it has to attack. And 2, was there a 2? I forget if there's a 2. Oh yeah, everything else is too small to block the Paladin. Right, good. Oh no, so many knights. Ouch. All right, I don't want to really give them too much more. We do 8 damage here. Oh wow, we are so low. We are getting really low. Yeah, maybe I scavengers back the shield breaker and attack for 5. And then if they gain 6 life next turn, they're at 10. And we could pressure that a little bit. Or play both Acolytes and hold back the Pixie. This is not easy. Because, I mean, they only have 1 red up, so they might not be able to redeploy the shield breaker, and there's no target they have for it. So I think that's fair. Let's bounce your shield breaker, and this is a bit bigger than anything else going on. Get them pretty low here. We have 2 blockers because I don't want to go any lower than 4, goodness knows. Oh, it's so scary playing against these colors. I don't want to see another Sword Master. But if they're playing their Red Knight first, then they get us to 1, they go to 7, and then they play the Sword Master. It's tough. Tough game. Bacon to pie again? No, what is this? Ah, Lochthwain Paladin. Well, that's not awful. Eventually we're going to deal with this knight. So help me. That does it. That'll do it. Halberd on the Pixie. And that's enough to get them. Whew, all right. It's so scary going this low against a red deck. But in the end, we take it down. I'm not going to be able to see the chat, unfortunately. Yeah, so if they said anything since then, I'm sorry I didn't see it. Good games. See you guys in the finals. The finals versus Thrun, the last boss. Ooh, so not just tempting, irresistible. We are playing the Goose. We have backups of everything else going on here. Come on, blue. Oh, so close. All right, well, sack our lonely food, and hopefully they don't kill our first pixie. Go. That's the pixie of shame here. If they kill it, I mean, there's some commons that kill it. We're in bad shape, but they didn't kill it. So we're in good shape. Go. Oh well. See if they're pausing to say anything here. They're like, wow, so lucky. You don't know the half of it. Now what? Another red-black deck. We'll see if it's the full 3 colors or if it's just red-black knights of some kind. Can be good, but they didn't get the fast start that is often going to put a lot of pressure on you, and they're haggling already. This card isn't as game-breakingly good as I thought it would be. It's great to have one of these in your deck, maybe even 2, especially if you're like the card draw payoff deck. But yeah, it's just kind of a decent filler card. All right, so somehow we have 4 mana available. Not exactly sure what we're trying to get done with that, but I think what we want to do here is Vandal and make a food. Hold on, I have to check. We played a land this turn, so I think that's the best bet. No attacks. We need all our mana to do this, and then Vandal will become a powerhouse next turn with our card draw. If we get the land off of that, or before that, then we can attack for 6 in the air. Oh, we'll have it, because we can use our Goose. I don't really want to use our Goose, but we'll see what happens here. Are they just holding everything up? Vandal. This is all flyers so far. And then some. Usually by this point we would have a 3/3 elk Goose. But that's not how we're playing this game. Well, it doesn't seem like we're playing this game at all. Bacon to pie on the Goose. Sorry, Goose. That is one that they really want to deal with because maybe the foods just take over the game. They figure, I can't really beat much of this, but I definitely can't beat the Goose over a long game, which is fair enough. So let's go Tome Raider here and attack for 3 billion damage. We already drew a land, so just come in here. That is 6. And there are some creatures they could play that are too big to outmuscle, but at least we can bounce those ones. And a lot of creatures they can play we will be able to outmuscle here with Adamant, Trebuchet. That is a good example of a creature like that. Now, maybe we don't want to do that yet. Like, I'm fine spending a little bit of mana here to bounce it. They could go up to 17. That's what I expect them to do. Hopefully they don't just have 3 damage for the Vandal. Yeah, so they don't have that removal spell, and even if they did, I think we're far enough ahead to get them. All right, good prospects in this draft. Good prospects from the beginning, but also looks like we might be able to win this thing if we can take one more game. Curious pair. We don't really know what we're up against, but I'm assuming it's going to be an aggressive deck of some kind. So I'm going to take out Scavengers and put in something that can interact a bit earlier. Maybe the Carver. I like the idea of the Carver against red, at least. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But it's also good against 1/3 cards with reach. Okay, I'll keep this. Turn 2 Trail of Crumbs is never something I'm too sad to have. Turn 2 Pixie's even better, because you don't necessarily want to sack the food right away. That rocks. All right, Pixie, half tempted to trade with it, but I'm half tempted not to trade with it. We'll see. I'll probably trade with it here. That hits hard, and we're on the draw, so we just need to kind of hang in there. Blue was a good draw here. That means we can play our Paladin with Adamant and our Paladin with Adamant. Wow, but they're both Paladins. These are the off-color knights, the B team. Actually, what am I thinking? We should do the green Paladin first. Yeah, this ramp kind of messes us up, or messes us down. Play a 5/2 here. So many knights. Okay, Steelclaw Lance is scary. That makes the Rim Rock Knight big enough to attack into the Paladin. The green Paladin, that is. But it forces them to equip it, and we can attack back for a ton. Oi. Alright, so next turn is going to be blue Paladin plus Trail of Crumbs. And as long as we're not dead already, then we've got a good shot here. Yeah, I'm not going to block this thing. We don't have much to out-muscle with if we just block here. Besides, we can probably trade that with our blue Paladin if things get too hectic. Another Trebuchet would hurt. Drawing a card with Foulmire Knight. Fair enough. Pixie. Pixie versus Trail of Crumbs. I think Pixie could be better, but that would mean not getting... Shoot, that would mean not getting Paladin as a 3/3. So that can't be right here. I mean, it could be right, but whatever. Let's do this. Our turn's basically forced here. So get in 5 damage. Have the Paladin back to trade with Rimrock Knight. Or maybe take another hit of 5, but that gets scary to do. That gets pretty scary. They could just kill our Paladin to guarantee the damage. Reeve Soul, nice. Alright, so we go down to 7, but back up to 10 with our food. Holy Rimrock Knight, are we dead here? 7, 8, 9. All right. Good luck us. Pixies are good. Do they save us? I don't know, but I do know I want to crack this food. And maybe draw a card. So what do we get? Island. We don't need that this turn, so I'll just take the Acolyte. Play this. Play a Pixie. Play a Pixie. Because it's just about as good a blocker as this Acolyte. And then attack for 5. So depending on if they have a removal option this turn, we could just be pretty close to dead. Certainly they have 2 damage, but if they get another 3 damage in from the Rimrock Knight, and they have 1 more Knight, so Knight removal spell would do it, and they already have, yeah, the 2 Knights we know about. I guess it's not super likely, but one way to kill us would just be to do the common 5 damage spell. Anyway, I'm happy enough blocking 1 on each here, because that keeps us alive and at about as high life as we can hope to be at. Shoot, then I might have to leave back Paladin at some point to block this Knight. Too many Knights. It's good for us that they played land. I guess they'll just go Falmire and get us really low. Oh no! That's a lot to deal with. That's a ton to have to deal with here. Now, how do we play this? So we're basically at 4. We come in with the Paladin, and that puts them low. Maybe we need to hold back the Paladin and outmuscle the Trebuchet. So we go to 4 here. We have 2 blockers, and that's not enough to kill us. But then we have to trade the Paladin with Rimrock Knight. And then lose the Acolyte to the carriage. It's too bad, I think. It's not gonna work. It's not enough. Alright, so I think the better play, the best play even, is to kill that Trebuchet with the big Paladin, and that blocks everything. It blocks this Rimrock Knight. You know what it doesn't block? It doesn't block an enchanted carriage with the Steelclaw Lance on it, which is definitely an option for them here. And this just gets more junk into play. So player Acolyte. It's going to be a close one. Yeah, I don't think we're dead on board. And we went through all of our Marleaf Pixies to get to this point, so we'll see. Steelclaw Lance. This has been way too good. How about our sideboard? Do we have... I guess we don't have any enchantment removal here. Curious Pair might have to come in. The second copy of it. Foods are good. 1/3s are good against a bunch of Rimrock Knights. Wow, 3 Rimrock Knights. And Carriage just being surprisingly good. Alright, they have put the Lance on the Knight, and they're playing the Trebuchet, which doesn't give us very good blocking options, if any. Oh, we're just dead here? Oh, shoot. Yeah, we're all kinds of dead here. Good stuff. Yeah, they they found the line. I guess they could have put the lance on a mouse or something too, but they used one mouse and the trebuchet they just played to crew their 4/4. Nuts. Exact damage that turn. What can we do about it? Well, we can draw a bit better. The Scavengers are good. And the Carver, I think, is good against Reeve Soul if that's what they have. It was an awkward draw of ours. Wait, was this the game where we played our Goose? No, into the Pixies. Getting the games mixed up here. But anyway, let's play first. Let's have a good draw. Yeah, I can't complain about this hand. Turn 3, we'll have all of our Pixies in play. And that doesn't take too long to kill them. And the outmuscle is so nice. This is a good answer to any death touchers your opponent might have if you can get it with adamant. They're taking a little time, so they mulligan to 6, and that's a good sign for us too. Start with Forest. Pixie. Then I guess I'll go Forest to help outmuscle, potentially. See if they kill our Pixie. Don't kill our Pixie, please. Because I want to play both Pixies this turn. Noble. Noble on its own doesn't scare me. Oh my goodness. Pixie. Pixie. And then hit for 6, draw a card next, or hit for 4 next turn. And then keep some Fables. Even if they kill a Pixie here, we can both play Keeper and hit. Forget it. I want my Pixies. Forget about your Noble. Some Noble. Trebuchet kind of sucks. For us, that is. Anyway, it doesn't slow me down too much here. I still get in 2 damage and draw a card. Drawing a card's more important than dealing with the Trebuchet here. Charmed Sleep is a nice one. So much mana. All our extra mana becomes card draw. So we have to be a little careful about how we do this. What is this attack? It could be Death Touch. Or it could be a bluff. I want to see it. No, I don't want to see it. I'm too scared. I'm too scared. They might be bluffing, but if they're not bluffing, I just throw the game away, and that kind of sucks. Foulmire Knight. Yeah, that'd be pretty awkward. Okay. There's a lot of good stuff going on here. They have mana up for the Noble. So we might not want to outmuscle here. I mean, outmuscling would be fine, but there's a right way to play this turn and a wrong way. I want to get the counter on Vandal, and I want to get as much damage in as possible. So maybe I just play the Vandal and attack with a whole bunch. Make sure I have played an island here. So Actually, Charmed Sleep on the Trebuchet is awful. I don't know why I'm thinking about that. Wow, this turn's awkward. Here's yet another option. Why don't we Charmed Sleep on Foulmire Knight? Wonder if they'll sack it in response. No, that'll tap. Then we get in with 3 of these bosses. There's no reason to attack with the Keeper. When we can deal with the Trebuchet another way. Yeah, I want to play as conservatively as possible here. Oh, wait. Let's let damage go through first. Boulder Rush. Alright, not much we can do there. But we hit, we get Fairy Vandal down. Draw that card. Alright. I'm not sure about... So what I'm thinking, there's the trick that is +2/+1 in Death Touch. And I don't want to lose my Keeper of Fables when this is just easy. Draw a card every turn with all my flyers. It'd kind of suck if they held up mana every turn. We'll see how exactly this plays out. Another Trebuchet, potentially more Death Touch. And they're holding everything back. Get that Goose going. Great. So let's outmuscle the Keeper with a Trebuchet, because those things are just super annoying. Attack with 3 guys. And if they really wanted to use Death Touch on something, they could take down the Fairy Vandal. But here we'll go. We'll get it up to a 3/4. And play out either the Goose or Marleaf Rider. And I think Marleaf Rider is a bit better. Because it's just as mana efficient. If we're going to do that next turn, we might as well, yeah, not have the Goose, which ramps if we have our food, but yeah, whatever. This is a cheap thing to do later, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, they don't have a great attack. I'm happy enough trading off here. If they want to sack 2 creatures, fine. But if I'm drawing cards every turn and I have mana, then I just don't want to be taking any damage at all. Nice. Do you think we're going to lose our Keeper this turn, and is it worth it? Double Strike with Death Touch means they don't even lose anything. So, well, besides the trick. Anyway, let's go ahead and attack with 2 flyers. To make sure we draw that card. Then get some more good flyers down there. And look at this. Look at how neatly this is working out. Treats to share. Gilded Goose. That puts us up to 18 life. We are all set. This is our game to lose. Our game to win, too. Can we make it happen? They're going to have some kind of pump here, which is fine with me. Another Boulder Rush or whatever it might be, barge in. So we do take some serious damage there, but they only have one card left. They're at 6. All right, I think it is time to attack with everything. Not you. You can come back. Could have made that into a goose or an elk. Do they have the answer like a bacon to pie for the keeper? That's the question here. Ooh, they didn't have it, and we got there. We win this tournament, so not only do we open Oko, but we're about to open 6. Well, I'm not going to open these packs, so you can use them to draft, which is great. But we get 6 packs, point, and a trophy. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. And until next time, good luck in your drafts.